When divers explore the ocean, it's not just fish and coral they find, but they discover prehistoric treasures and mythical creatures. From coming face to face with extinct animals to seeing the unimaginable. Tag along to witness some of the most incredible diving moments that left the world speechless. Horror creature. What you're looking at isn't just another deep-sea creature or an oversized eel lurking in the ocean. It is something far more unsettling. A massive leviathan stretching over 850 kilometers through the dark, cold waters of the Indian Ocean. Yep, this isn't your typical sea monster, as it doesn't chase ships or swallow whales. Instead, it stays eerily calm, lurking in the abyss like it owns the place. And here's where it gets even stranger. This creature secretes a mysterious substance that's rumored to mess with memory, leaving anyone who comes near it in a mental fog. People have tried to describe what it's like to encounter this behemoth, but words don't quite do it justice. Close call. You've got to admire the guts on this guy, right there on the edge of a boat, staring down into the ocean blue as a massive shark glides just below. Really, you'd think he's out of his mind, standing that close to such a formidable beast. This is definitely one of those don't try this at home moments, putting the enormous size and daunting presence of the shark on full display. Whether it's raw courage or just a wild disregard for safety, this scene is a total head-turner. Luckily, instead of popping up to greet everyone, the shark just cruised by the boat and disappeared into the depths. Legendary creature back? Next time you're diving, don't be too quick to laugh off sea monster tales. Just off the Black Sea coast in 2023, divers captured something that could pass for a real-life plesiosaur. Long neck, massive flippers. It's like a sci-fi movie came to life underwater. And guys, this isn't the first time a creature like this has been spotted in the area. So, what's going on? Is it a relic from the past? A rare species we've never documented? Whatever the answer is, the ocean isn't giving up its secrets that easily. Better than GPS. If you think GPS is the only way to find your way, think again. Here's a tale about a diver who found an unexpected guide in the ocean. The octopus grabbed the diver's hand, almost like it wanted to show him something. It led him on a little underwater adventure, moving confidently ahead and occasionally checking to make sure the diver was still following. They arrived at a spot with 2 metal stakes and a stone. As the octopus circled one side, the diver went around the other, and there it was. A photo of a man holding a white, fluffy dog. It turns out some divers had created an underwater memorial for a friend's father. Looks like the octopus knew a whole lot more than we do. Colorful jellyfish. Sorry for the grainy footage, but this moment is too incredible to miss. Deep in the Mariana Trench, around 4,000 to 5,000 feet below the surface, explorers captured the firework jellyfish in all its glory. When their lights hit it, this creature doesn't just float there, it bursts into a kaleidoscope of colors, with pinks, yellows, and purples flashing like an underwater celebration. At first glance, it might seem like a trick of the light, but the way those colors pulse and shimmer is way too precise to be random. Its natural invisibility in the pitch-black depths only adds to the mystery. Here's a closer look. Not so fake now, is it? Survival in the dark. I must say, divers have all the unexpected moments and fearful encounters in the deep oceans. Here's the proof of why I'm saying this. In the ocean, where sunlight can't reach the icy cold, divers spotted a horrible-looking fish. It was a dragonfish, found between 200 and 6,000 meters deep. This fish is small, but it's tough, living over 10 years. With a slim, snake-like body, glowing skin, and teeth sharp enough to scare anyone, this fish is built to hunt in total darkness. No wonder the divers were shocked. Coming face to face with a creature like this in the middle of nowhere, that's enough to give anyone chills. Lake Champlain Mystery. If there's one thing we've learned from underwater creatures, It's that they love to make a grand entrance when you least expect it. Divers at Lake Champlain thought they were in for a regular day, but a mysterious creature had other plans. Out of nowhere, it charged straight at a GoPro, stealing the spotlight in slightly murky waters. Now, who knows what this creature was up to? Maybe it was just curious, or maybe it didn't like the camera invading its space. But here's the thing, it's not just your average fish. With all the buzz around this surprise encounter, some are even wondering if there's more to Lake Champlain. Loch Ness Monster. Whoa, did you see that massive shadowy figure in the deep blue? That's some wild stuff right there, I must say. That's not your typical underwater sighting. This is the next level. A giant creature captured gliding gracefully past the camera, its long shape and movements looking eerily like the legendary Loch Ness Monster. That's just plain bizarre. And no one knows what's that? Of course, without more info, it's tough to say what exactly it was. Godzilla underwater. You won't believe what divers in the Galapagos Islands caught on camera recently. During their underwater adventure, they filmed a marine iguana, known as the Peaceful Dragon, showing off its impressive size and unique habits. This creature, which can grow up to 170 centimeters and weigh around 15 kilos, was casually strolling along the ocean floor. And here's the kicker, they captured it sneezing, forever their favorite thing to do. As the marine iguana, known as the Peaceful Dragon, inched closer, its massive size became even more striking, completely dominating the camera's view. I'm sure the divers must have thought twice before deciding to dive in that part of the ocean again. Pokemon? Did you catch that incredible sight in the deep waters off the coast of Japan? Captured on video at a depth of about 3,500 feet, there's this eerie, unidentified sea creature that's got everyone talking. It almost looks like it could belong in a Pokemon game. Totally bizarre and fascinating. I mean, it's not every day you see something that could be mistaken for a mythical creature just casually cruising through the deep sea. Without more information, it's hard to say for sure, but it's definitely not your everyday ocean sighting. Petrified Town. Divers might always expect to encounter a big fish or a hidden treasure, but humanoids underwater? That's a shocking sight for anyone. A series of statues, frozen in various poses, stand silently on the ocean floor, each figure coated in a layer that makes them appear petrified over time. Could this be a relic from the Titanic, or perhaps something out of folklore? Their stone-like appearance truly made me think of the legendary Medusa, whose gaze could turn anyone to stone. Whether they were real people transformed by mythical forces, or simply sculptures meant to captivate and intrigue those who stumble upon them, it wasn't normal. Living Mosasaurus. An underwater drill camera captured a massive movement in the deep. Suddenly, a shadowy figure appeared, gradually taking the form of a giant. But the shocking thing is, through its head and long body, it resembles an ancient sea monster, Mosasaurus. I mean, every detail of this creature hinting at nothing but a living relic. I don't know about you, but after watching this footage, I'm pretty convinced we're looking at a real-life Mosasaurus. And guys, it's not just me. The entire community is buzzing about it. Giant of the deep. Just when you think you've seen it all, the ocean throws you a curveball. Keep watching, because what looked like a typical dive turned into something out of a movie. Initially, it was just a diver slowly moving up, possibly towards the ocean's surface. Then, suddenly, this huge creature showed up. As the camera zooms out, you really get to see how huge the squid is. The diver next to it looks tiny, and the diver seems so chill about it, which is pretty cool. Honestly, if it were me there, I'd probably be freaking out a bit. Whale carcass. Life underwater grows like this underwater. A big whale ends life and sinks to the bottom. Soon, lots of sea creatures come to eat. First, hagfish, slimy and without jaws, nibble on it. They don't have teeth, but have rough bits that help them eat. Then, a big sleeper shark comes along. It's strong and bites off big pieces of the whale. These sea animals will eat the whale for many years, until only bones are left. Even then, tiny creatures keep feeding on what's left. This is how the deep sea cleans up and uses everything, even a giant whale's body. Submarine window expose. Not everything in the ocean can be fully captured by cameras. And this moment, it was beyond words. From the submarine's window, a massive snake-like shadow appeared, looming terrifyingly close. Its huge size was overwhelming. The creature's long, winding body and its head was shaped like an ancient sea serpent. But just as the submarine charged a shot toward it, the shadowy figure slipped back into the darkness, vanishing as quickly as it had come. When this video surfaced on the internet, people got confused about its appearance, as it might not be the legendary serpent. What do you think it could be then? Diver versus white shark. You'll never believe what this diver encountered. Just as he was focused on a school of pink snappers, something massive emerged from the depths. And whoa, it wasn't just any fish. It was a 4.5-meter great white shark. This 400-kilogram giant wasn't shy either. Over the next 9 minutes, it made several close passes, its bold movements impossible to ignore. Some might say it was just curious, but with every approach, you can't help but wonder. Was it sizing him up as a friend, a foe, or maybe even food? Either way, it's not exactly the kind of encounter anyone wants to stick around to figure out. Transparent fish. Yep, this is no ordinary fish swimming in the deep sea, and it's definitely not what you'd expect to find 2,000 feet underwater. Meet the barrel eye fish, a creature with a completely transparent head. Yes, you read that right. Its head is like a glass dome, and inside, you'll spot its glowing green eyes that can swivel around like tiny periscopes. And those eyes are not just for show. They let the fish look up to track its dinner, even in the pitch-black waters, and then shift forward to chase it down. Why the transparent head? Think of it like a built-in submarine viewing dome, helping it detect even the faintest glow of jellyfish and other prey. Honestly, the whole thing is unsettling. Economy growth. Wait till you hear about this. Deep in the ocean, as a whale's life comes to an end, something incredible begins. A giant carcass settles on the seafloor, and suddenly, it's like an underwater buffet for the creatures of the abyss. Sharks dart in with quick precision, octopuses sneak their way around, and even the slow-moving scavengers join the feast. Now, while it might sound a little grim, it's also fascinating to watch. The remains of one massive creature become the lifeline for so many others, creating an entire ecosystem in the deep. Some say it's nature at its rawest, others call it the perfect balance. But either way, it's proof of just how connected everything is down there. Silent chase. You've got to hand it to the sharks. There's nothing quite like their quiet, calculated moves underwater. At Tiger Beach in the Bahamas, a tiger shark and a hammerhead were locked in what felt like a slow-motion chase. The tiger shark was shadowing the hammerhead, both cutting through the murky depths with an effortless grace. Now, this could have been just another peaceful moment in the ocean, but the way these two moved had the divers holding their breath. Shocking mystery. I've seen tons of clips of divers encountering ocean creatures, but to be honest, this one gave me goosebumps like never before. Just take a look at this huge beast first. The big monster was chasing a swarm of small fish, completely focused on its meal, but it wasn't expecting another guest in its path. And here we are, witnessing this insane scene. And just when you think it couldn't get any crazier, this massive beast makes the diver look like a tiny speck in the ocean. It's wild. I mean, seriously, could this thing be even bigger than the legendary Megalodon? Cuddle Cutler. We all see beautiful and yet horrible sea creatures too. And here it is, another story. Another marine creature with its unique features. A cuttlefish in the middle of its color-changing spectacle. It's like stumbling upon an underwater light show. These sea creatures are not just about blending in. They turn their bodies into vibrant canvases, flaunting a dazzling array of colors. Whether it's for chasing, hiding, or courting, their dramatic transformations are truly a sight to behold. So, get ready to dive into a world where nature's own artists show off their mesmerizing skills right before your eyes. Swimming with the largest fish. You know that theory that the biggest mysteries of the ocean are hidden in plain sight? Well, here's your proof. A diver captured an unforgettable moment swimming alongside a massive whale shark, the largest fish in the sea. This gentle giant, with its spotted skin glimmering under the sunlight, moved so gracefully it almost felt surreal. It's clear the diver knew they were witnessing something special, and honestly, who wouldn't feel awestruck next to a creature like this? Too bad we can't dive in alongside them to experience it firsthand. But this footage is enough to remind us how magical and mysterious the ocean really is. Underwater Town. We're used to seeing lively, bustling towns above water, but have you ever thought about what's hidden below? Divers recently found something wild, an underwater scene that looks like our cities, but with a spooky vibe. Among the green murk, they spotted structures like buildings and even skeletons, possibly tied to a legendary shipwreck, or maybe something else entirely. Whatever it is, it's been sitting there, untouched, keeping its secrets. And isn't it crazy to think something this mysterious has been hiding in plain sight all along? Shark Parade. Ever thought about chilling with the ocean's big cats? Well, one diver did just that, swimming with tiger sharks like it's no big deal. Another diver caught it on camera, and let me tell you, it was more like a shark parade than a swim. They were just floating there, and all around you are these massive tiger sharks, famous for their stripes and not-so-cuddly nature. But instead of a scary scene, it's oddly calm, almost peaceful. That's definitely a story to brag about. As for me, I'll stick to dry land, thank you very much. Black creature. Yeah, this might just look like another deep-sea shadow at first, but when you notice the hands, things get wild. And it's not just the hands. This thing doesn't have a face. No eyes, no mouth, nothing. That's when you realize this isn't your typical underwater creature. Now, if this was just a regular deep-sea fish, it wouldn't move like that, gliding so smoothly and eerily across the ocean floor. And it's definitely not debris. Those movements are way too deliberate. For now, it's up to the marine experts to figure out what this could be, but something tells me we won't be getting clear answers anytime soon. Silver Taiwan fish. So, this is probably the closest we'll get to spotting a real-life sea serpent, a giant oarfish shimmering in the deep waters near Taiwan. Sounds magical, right? Well, not entirely. This massive, mythical-looking creature wasn't in the best shape. It had clear bite marks, courtesy of a cookie-cutter shark. Seeing an oarfish is rare enough to feel like a once-in-a-lifetime event, but spotting one with battle scars? That's next-level mysterious. Submarine captured. Believe it or not, this isn't some sci-fi creation. It's the Magna Pinna squid, a real creature lurking in our oceans. First spotted off Portugal in 1907, and then in the South Atlantic in 1956. This squid is anything but ordinary, with its incredibly thin tentacles stretching up to 25 feet long, nearly 20 times the length of its body. It's the stuff of deep-sea mysteries. What really makes it stand out are the odd bends in its tentacles, almost like elbows, giving it an eerie, alien-like appearance. Scientists still aren't sure how it hunts, but they suspect it might drag its tentacles along the seafloor or wait for food to float right into them. One thing's for sure, this isn't just another ocean creature. It's the closest thing we have to a real-life sea alien. Barracuda. And this is exactly why diving can quickly go from calm to chaos. The divers were peacefully exploring the corals at Half Moon Cay when the unexpected happened. A barracuda showed up. These fish are known for their sharp teeth and intense stare, so you can imagine the tension when it locked onto one of the divers. It didn't end there. The barracuda charged, but instead of striking the diver, it went for his camera. The video doesn't show much beyond that, but you've got to wonder, was the camera just unlucky? Or did the diver make a move that caught its attention? Either way, it was a close call, and the camera definitely saved the day. Ocean vampire. Well, look who decided to bring spooky vibes to the deep sea. The vampire squid. Despite its creepy name, this little creature isn't out to stalk like its name suggests. Instead, it gets its title from its dark color and the cape-like webbing between its arms, giving it that Dracula look. Now it's tempting to think it's just another squid. Nope, guys. This one's got tricks. When it feels threatened, it doesn't spray black ink like others do. Instead, it releases a sparkling cloud of bioluminescent particles to confuse predators. And if that's not enough, it flips its cape inside out to reveal a spiky, intimidating look. Pretty dramatic, right? But don't worry, it's not chasing down fish or sucking fluids. Just another deep-sea oddity doing its thing. Ningan. Divers exploring the icy waters captured footage of a shadowy figure known as the Ningan. This mysterious creature almost disappears into the dark ocean, making it hard to figure out what it actually is. Now, believers say the Ningan has been roaming these waters for years, but no one's quite sure what it's doing down there. Is it just another undiscovered species, or is there something more to it? Dustbin Jellyfish. During Wild Ocean Week, biologists encountered something extraordinary while diving off the coast of Cornwall, near Falmouth. She came face to face with a giant jellyfish, so large it was as big as her body. This enormous creature is a barrel jellyfish, also humorously known as the dustbin lid jellyfish, due to its impressive size. Barrel jellyfish are the largest species found in UK waters, yet despite their size, sightings are quite rare, which made divers' encounter even more special. Alien fish. Caught on camera back in 1987, this deep-sea creature is giving off some serious sci-fi vibes. At first glance, it's just another fish, but take a closer look. That massive mouth full of sharp teeth, those spiky fins. Yeah, that's not your everyday underwater neighbor. And then there's the glowing lure on its head. Cool, right? But also pretty creepy since it uses that light to pull prey straight into its jaws. Makes you wonder, is it just a fish or something way stranger? With most of the ocean still unexplored, who knows what else is hiding down there? Mermaid Mystery revealed. On March 6th, something totally wild happened on a submarine trip. The divers caught what looked like a real-life folklore creature on camera. Seriously, it was right there in the footage. A creature having human-like features with aquatic elements. The marine experts on board couldn't believe their eyes that they were watching the mermaid. Can you imagine that? They showed the video in a live interview, and it got everyone buzzing about what else could be down there. The creature seemed smart. Maybe like it was its own kind of intelligent species. And guys, you won't believe it, but because of this discovery, Greenland actually stopped all new oil drilling to protect the marine life around there. Octopus Friend. A diver had an amazing moment with a giant Pacific octopus. It was a huge creature. rusty, red, and brown, blending right in with the ocean floor. But instead of swimming away, the octopus did something surprising. It stretched out one of its long arms, almost like it was reaching for a handshake. The diver felt the little suckers on his hand as the octopus gently explored his camera and gear. For a second, it felt like the octopus was just as curious about him as he was about it. After checking him out, the octopus swam off so smoothly, disappearing into the rocks and kelp. Scary ocean mystery. Y'all ever wondered if mythical creatures might have been real and hidden in the ocean? Well, yes, it's true. A few divers went to the ocean's mesopelagic zone and witnessed a massive crab. Not just big, but mythical big. Its shell was covered in reefs and fungus, like it had been petrified for ages. It wasn't just any crab, though. It resembled Carcass from those old Greek myths, the massive crab that tangled with heroes and monsters alike. It was so well preserved. It was like a stone statue, a piece of history frozen in time. Giant squid. Have you ever captured something on camera that left you completely stunned? That's exactly what happened to divers on July 11th, 2012. A giant squid made a rare and jaw-dropping appearance, emerging right in front of their deep-sea camera lens. As the footage continues, the giant squid begins exploring with its massive, curling tentacles. Its colossal size becomes even more striking as it inches closer, completely overshadowing the camera with its incredible reach. I'm sure the divers thought twice before diving into that part of the ocean again. Shark testing.
So now I got 1, 2, 3, 4 sharks, one with a bad attitude, and I'm ready to jump in there.
Can sharks sense when humans are vulnerable? One not-so-wise diver decided to find out by diving into shark territory with a cage that was open in the front. Initially, the sharks just circled around cautiously, but as soon as diver turned his back, they started closing in. It's like when you turn away and your pet decides it's the perfect time to pounce. Except, these are sharks. Then an 18-foot shark appeared, making the cage feel a lot less secure. The shark bumped into the cage, but the diver was actually safer staying inside. Once the shark calmed down, the divers went back to their adventure. So, if you think you've got a stressful job, try hanging out in a cage with a curious giant shark circling around. Abyssus Theory. What you're hearing about isn't just another deep-sea dive. It's something straight out of a sci-fi adventure. Back in the 1930s, some naturalists took the bathysphere deep into the ocean's abyss and saw things that sound almost unbelievable. Glowing fish, see-through predators, and even a fish called the five-lined constellation fish, which no one has seen since. No one's found proof of these giants, but honestly, with so much of the ocean still unexplored, who's to say what's remaining down there? Yellow cloth. You know it's something special when divers stop mid-expedition to capture a moment like this. Out of nowhere, this massive, yellow, flappy creature glides by. And no, it's not a lost beanbag floating through the ocean. It's a fish. With giant wing-like fins that look like they could wrap around a person, it's like nothing you've ever seen. It's not just the size or the color, it's the way it moves. Effortless and almost too cozy for something under the sea. For a moment, it feels like watching a living, breathing blanket cruise through the depths. Such a big Trev. A slight movement near the reef, and you think it's just another fish passing by. But then you catch a glimpse of something unusual. Focus in, and there it is. A big-eyed, broad-faced trevally lurking just out of reach. A regular fish? Not quite. Its oversized eyes and peculiar face make it stand out like it's straight out of a deep-sea drama. It's not just about appearances either. Once you really observe it, you'll notice how it moves. Calculated, almost like it's watching your every move. Creepy, right? Even if you wanted to dismiss it as just another reef dweller, there's no denying the reality. Groupers grouping. We've been hearing about the Goliath Groupers off Florida's coast for ages. But who knew one of the most fascinating underwater gatherings was happening right under our noses? This happens every August, and let's be honest, it's hard to believe until you actually see it. The footage might not be crystal clear, thanks to murky waters and strong currents, but it's enough to prove this is no ordinary sight. These massive fish, slow-moving and always watching, group around old shipwrecks, waiting for the perfect moment, the right tide and moon phase, and to begin their spawning. It's so incredible that it feels almost unreal, but once you see these gentle giants up close, there's no doubting it. Moola Moola. You'll never believe what divers spotted just beneath the surface. That's right, a Moola Moola, or sunfish, casually drifting by. At first, it just looked like a fin lazily waving hello above the water, but as they got a closer look underwater, whoa, it's an entirely different story. This massive fish is the largest bony fish in the ocean, and its size is no joke. Watching it glide through the water with slow, deliberate movements is oddly mesmerizing, almost majestic in a strange way. Some say it looks like a creature from another time, or maybe even another world. Favorite meal? Well, look who decided to bring ocean legends to life. A sperm whale casually carrying the remains of a giant squid in its mouth. All jokes aside, this scene feels like something straight out of those epic underwater battle stories we've all heard. Now, it's easy to dismiss this as just another ocean moment. But where's the fun in that? With the depths of the ocean still so unexplored, is it really that hard to imagine that these massive creatures are having their own clashes beneath the waves? Aren't we past thinking these are just old myths? Because this footage feels like proof to this. Ballet between two. I know it seems like just another calm dive in the deep blue, but keep an eye on what's happening here. The diver is swimming peacefully when suddenly a big shark glides right up close. Now most would panic, but not this diver. Instead, they tap the shark on the nose and move alongside it for a moment. And here's the strange part. The shark doesn't react at all, just swims away quietly. Quite impressive, isn't it? And now, let us move on to our subscriber pick of the day. Looks like the divers got the ultimate photobomb. They're chilling on the ocean floor, probably setting up for a group shot, when a massive tiger shark glides in like it owns the place. With its sleek body and powerful presence, the shark turned a normal dive into an unforgettable moment. Its movements were smooth and graceful, but had that edge of danger only a top predator can bring. Let's be real. Getting photobombed by a tiger shark isn't exactly an everyday thing. It's the kind of story you would tell forever. Would you dare to stay for the shot? See you next time.